So, our next focus topic is a very interesting one. It's about the materials, and most concrete about the innovative materials in the construction. So please, let me introduce you on the stage Mr. Frank Tesar from the company Herz Armaturen GmbH with his presentation. Big applause, please.
Kind introduction, thank you. Thank you, Miroslav. Yeah, a very warm welcome from my side and a good afternoon. My name is Frank Tesar, and as already mentioned, I'm working as an export manager at the company Herz Armaturen, a very traditional company based in Vienna. I will start my presentation with going back a little bit to history. We are going back to the 19th century. It was a very intensive century and also for Vienna and a very important century, especially also in the case of music, theaters, and especially also the year 1896. The year 1896 was the founding year of Herz. During this time, there was also the Emperor Franz Joseph, so it's a long, long time ago. This company was founded. The start was not Herz, it was the company Gebauer and Lerner. Franz Gebauer and Victor Lerner founded this company with 12 employees. The picture you see here is around the 1914, 1915, before the First World War. At this time, the company had about 300 employees, quite a huge factory. You see also all the traditional pictures and machines. And at this time, not only valves for water or for heating were produced, also valves for beer and for wine taps, and especially also for bathrooms were in the portfolio of this time. We're making a quite big jump to the year 1989. The year 1989 was a very crucial year for Herz. At this time, the company was only firmed Herz. This was changed in the 1970s. And at this time, at 1998, a new wind of change brought the new ownership of the company. From this time on, Herz was really focusing on growth, and always on the focus was the European quality. Herz products are nowadays really distributed to around 80 countries all over the world. You see a small overview here. We have a lot of subsidiaries. This is the dark red one, and a lot of partners on nearly every continent on the world. Some facts about the company. All in all, we expect a turnover of 650 million. Our business year always closes at the end of March. We have around 50 companies, 42 production sites, and employees of around 3,500 people. This turnover is divided in 3 divisions. We have the valves, Herz Armaturen. We have the second division, Energietechnik. This division is focused on biomass systems, boilers, and heat pumps for the private sector and also for the industrial sector. And the third division is also the biggest division in the group, is the division Herz Servo. Just a second, sorry. Here's Servo with isolation material. I'm representing today Herz Armaturen. As you have seen, a very traditional company in the HVAC business. Coming a little bit into the details, what we are producing. So we are producing a wide range for the complete building technology. We have a lot of individual products, thermostatic valves, thermostatic head, regulating valves, balancing valves, But more and more, the time is also changing on the construction side. Skills are not that well from the construction workers anymore. Time is a big factor on the construction. So we are changing to more and more system solutions. And yeah, system solutions for heating and cooling system. We have products for district heating, for pump groups, for cooling, for air conditioning. So this is also a little bit changing in our product portfolio. I mentioned that we have quite a lot of factories. As I said before, I'm representing the Armaturen business, the valves, and we are quite proud of it. And we always mention this with quite some honor. We are producing only in Europe. Everything is centralized, quite central. The headquarters is based here in Vienna. Then we have also production facilities in south of Austria, in Kempten, the boiler business here in Pinkerfeld, and also international facilities, the biggest one in Villečka, and also one, the second biggest one is here in Šmartno in Slovenia. Okay. Thank you. And besides this, we also have one facility also in Italy and in Serbia in Niš. So you see everything is quite narrow, and also the transport distances between the facilities are not that far. We have a wide range, but I'm coming back now to a very simple product which all of you know, which all of you have more or less at home. I'm sure not always from Herz, but you have this kind of radiator valves, radiator head. This is already a very old and traditional product. Everything started already in the 1930s. There the first idea came up for regulating a constant temperature. Then it took a while until the 1950s, where the first radiator valve came onto the market, and the first radiator valve from Herz entered the market in the early 1960s. You see this, the first picture here, a little bit of timeline of the different radiator valves, so very simple. It's getting also a little bit different nowadays. It's quite modern and also working in a complete different way. It's a very simple product, but a very useful product, and millions are sold and millions are still installed on radiators, I would say especially also in Europe, but also nearly on other places all over the world. And, sorry, das Mikrofon will mich nicht so haben. Aber jetzt. But you see that also the efficiency of this kind of products is quite high. The German Engineering Federation made a research of it and said that you can save around 20% when you're installing it when you're installing the latest thermostatic valve for the very first time. So when you replace it to a classic regulation valve. But what is also worth that you're replacing models which are older than 15 years. And there is a lot of demand in the market. There are so many old radiators still working, but not working properly. Therefore, also in this, I would say, simple product range, innovations are necessary. And now we also jumped on this train, I would like to say, and we combined a radiator valve with a differential pressure controller. A differential pressure controller is a very useful thing. It always works and always tries and control the heating system. So if you have pressure loss or temperature loss, this helps you quite a lot to keep a very energy efficient temperature control. And this is something new which is already existing on the market, but now we also made this innovation for us, and it will be available pretty soon. Here you see also a sectional drawing. In this sectional drawing, you see this differential pressure controller, and this is, of course, always working. And a classic thermostatic valve is not with a differential pressure controller. It goes also only straight through the pipe into the radiator. But this really helps to have a constant pressure in the complete heating system. And this is changing really quite a lot. You are not having only one hot radiator, which happens quite often. You have a regular-based warmth in your apartment and in your flat, and this helps also to save a lot of energy at the end of the day. Yeah, different versions, of course. The market requires different versions, and especially in the case of renovation, you need different versions, angled versions, straight versions, but also reverse angled versions. So this is really something which everybody still can do in old radiator systems to keep them up to an up-to-date system. Before I finish my presentation, I would like to show you a reference not very far from here, where a lot of energy was saved during the last couple of months. In the Natural History Museum of Vienna, our thermostatic head called Herz was installed. The heating system in the Natural Museum is quite old one. The heating source is district heating, but the big problem in the public place was always that people were always switching and turning the radiators, or sometimes also stealing the radiator heads, the radiator wheels. So always the temperature was not on a regular basis. Also costs occurred because they always have to exchange the stolen or damaged thermostatic valves and heads. So we have the already called Herz in our assortment. This is a thermostatic head which is not only protecting against unauthorized operation, it also is theft-proof, and it is also resistant to vandalism. So perfectly for public buildings, for hotels, for school, universities, museums, all places where a lot of people are visiting these places. And the big outcome of this change, which we did last autumn in September, before the heating season started, was that we were saving around 440 megawatt hours of energy. We kept the temperature on one level for 5 months. And 440 megawatt is quite a huge amount. This is around the consumption of 50 single houses per year. And besides this, we could also avoid around 58 tons of CO2. So this is a small piece which can change quite a lot and which can really protect our environment. Yeah, thank you very much for your attention. If you have any questions, yeah, you can also ask me later. I have a small stand outside, or now, or whatever.
Thank you very much, Frank.
Thank you.
Big applause, please. Frank already mentioned the company. Frank is with the company, one of our exhibitors, so you can meet him outside the hall. He's happy to reply your questions.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Frank.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome at the stage our next exhibitor, Mr. Christopher Seyffert from the company PackWall GmbH, and he will explain you something about his new product. Christopher, please.
Ja, meine Damen und Herren, that's exactly what happened to me this lunchtime. I realized that my presentation I sent in was in German, and I was supposed to hold it in English. So I have to excuse myself that the writing will be German, but I will translate. But we have mostly pictures anyway, so don't worry about it too much. So sorry about that. So what does it say? It says construction and furniture panels made from recycling beverage cartons. So the company PackWall is a startup. We started last year. We are using beverage cartons to make building boards. So what happens? Normally, you have all these cartons which are used, which are very practical, but which end up in the garbage and mostly are burnt, because you can't really recycle them. So these, yeah, as I said, they're quite practical, but in the end, you can't do anything with them once they're used. So PackWall makes out of these composite materials building boards. And that's how they look like. And they are quite a, how should I say, an alternative to other boards. So but we don't have all the same identity as other boards here. So it can be an alternative to gypsum boards, plaster boards, MDF, OSB, hard boards, etc. But these boards, which we have, are 100% circular. We have production already of this patent, I mean, not of our company, so our company is unique in the German-speaking countries, so you will not have this product here yet. But we do have productions in the US, in Australia, New Zealand, Sweden, and the Czech Republic. And obviously, we will have Q3, the production in Austria. So now this actually has very dull music in the background, which we don't have to hear. You can see here how the production is done. It's a very simple process. There's nothing no high tech, no technology behind it. What you do is you chop up the board, the cartons, distribute them on a conveyor belt, press them as you can see them here. Then we have to cut the edges. Then you have boards that look like that. And you can use them inside or outside. You can see the presses here. These are two hot presses. We press this with hot air, 190 degrees, and afterwards a cold press, and that makes the whole process very, very simple. We don't use any special glue or anything. We don't even use water for our boards. We just use, well, we can say Tetra Pak because everybody knows this brand, so it's very easy to explain. We just use the Tetra Pak composite packages and press them with hot steam. That's it. And we are 100% circular, and we use 100% recycling materials, which is quite new in the market, and it obviously helps us that now the movement is from the greenwashing to actually do something about it. And this is a really 100% circular. It's very easy to work with. You can staple it, you can put screws in, you can put holes in it. It's very easy to work with. And you can have the cardboard applied on both sides, absorbs traction. And you can see you can cut it easily. And actually everything is possible, from plasterings, sanding, painting, wallpapering, and even tiling you can use. So it's no difference to other boards you have been used to, but they are, as I said, 100% from the recycling material and circular. Yeah, you can use them in the inside or in the outside area. One thing that's quite unique about it, you can bend our boards when you heat them up, and you can have a diameter of 1.4 meters. Another nice thing is if you want to have, we call them design boards, we use the structure which we get from the crushed and chopped up Tetra Pak or beverage cartons. And you can, when we get sometimes misprints from Tetra Pak, for example, then we have, like, if you have milk cartons, you have one color scheme, or if you have orange packages, whatever. So that we can do, or you can also put a foil on top of it, so you can color them in a way, so you can use them in any other possibility if you want to use them as, so we call them as design elements. Yeah, it's very easy to work with, as I already said. You don't need any special tools. We use the standard sizes at the moment, but we can do all sizes which we want. Normally 12 millimeters times 125 times 250 is the standard plasterboard you have. That's also the size we use. We can use 8 to 18 millimeters in thickness. And you have a weight of about 10 to 15 kilograms per square meter on the board. So that gives you basically 10% more than an OSB board, just to get you a feeling about it. One thing that's quite nice, we have some nice identity on the boards. We have quite a good heat resistance, so it keeps the heat inside and outside better than normal wooden boards. And it also, the audio is also kept much quieter in the room when you use these boards than normal wooden boards. So these are the kind of certifications we have gathered in all countries. So obviously in Austria we are not producing yet, so we don't have these kind of certifications for our boards yet. But obviously they are exactly the same machinery, exactly the same boards as we will produce here in Carinthia. Yes, so we can say this is how it looks after you used our boards, and that's what we really would like you to try out. And thank you very much, and I hope I'm on booth number 13 here, and it has been a very busy day, but if you haven't seen me yet, I'm more than happy to welcome you in our booth. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Christopher. Thank you, thank you. It was a very nice presentation. Thank you.
Well, it was translated instantly, so.
As usual, you can contact Christopher outside of the hall, one of our exhibitors. And our next exhibitor is Mr. Ilias Athanasiou. Please come on stage, from the company Intertrading, and he will tell us something about his new product. So please, Ilias, go ahead.
Thank you. First, we're going to see a video, and later on, we will go on to the presentation. Something wrong with that.
There is a place that we feel safe, our shelter, our home. What would you do to protect your home? Well, there is a way. Your home from sun and rain. This is the way.
So then, first of all, I would like to thank you for giving me the opportunity to present our company and the products we produce. We at Maris Polymers, we took the word of sustainability and made it to heart of everything what we are doing. We produce materials for people and also for a better environment. Sustainability must be in a balance with performance, And this is what we try to have all the time for every product we create and every product we put in the market. We develop and produce solutions for waterproofing, mainly liquid polyurethane. By that, we help the contractors in the building and building owners to protect and repair the buildings and the construction. So the people we are working with are mainly specifiers, distributors, contractors, DIYers, and of course the applicators. They use these materials. We export the materials we produce worldwide, and we are active in more than 15 countries. Maris is a company from the Saint-Gobain group. Saint-Gobain is a worldwide leader in construction of light and sustainable materials. The solutions now we offer: we have liquid applied polyurethane for waterproofing, liquid polyurethane for protecting, repairing, and flooring. These are, I would say, the main parts in the building and in the construction industry. Of course, all our products have to be made taking in account the sustainability. Under sustainability, we understand, of course, the energy efficiency of construction, the reducing carbon emissions, and of course, conserving of natural resources, circularity, but furthermore, we think about people that live in a house, in a building, and also the ones that are working inside. It is very, very important to reduce hazardous materials in order to protect their health and boost the well-being of all them that are involved in the construction and also live in a building. Furthermore, all our products are APD verified. APD, the Environmental Product Declaration, is a third-party verified document that gives us an indication about the impact that a product has to the environment over all his life cycle. And this is very, very important because that way a planner, a decision maker, an architect, an engineer can calculate what will be the impact of the material he has used in a building, and at the end, according to that what he has chosen, he can get credits from institutions like, for example, the German DGNB, according to the impact that the material of, let's say, a greenhouse is going to have to the environment. Our products, first of all, we try to switch from solvent-based products to water-based, and water-based are the products, let's say, with the lowest emissions. So one of that is the Marisil range, which are 100% pure water-based polyurethane without any isocyanates and with very low VOC content. These products can be liquid applied. When curing, they create a membrane without any joints, without any possibility of leakages, so the roof, the balcony, or whatever has been waterproofed by that can be safe for many, many years. The products are also ETA certified, and accordingly, they have an estimated lifespan of about 25 years. Another important point is the SRI, the solar reflectance index. The higher there is reflectance index is, the cooler is the roof, or let's say the substrate that has been waterproofed. And according to the new climate conditions, a cool roof helps to keep also the building cooler, and furthermore to save energy for cooling the internal areas. Another product of the Marisil range is the 270W. It is also an ETA certified product, also water-based with very low VOC and a material that can be used internally under the tiles for waterproofing wet areas like kitchen and bathrooms. It has a lifespan also of an expected lifespan of also 25 years and has all the necessary European certifications. The climate zones are not similar, so accordingly we try to adjust our products to the climate zone that they have to be used. So we have created, accordingly, water-based products for areas with severe climate, like Northern Europe or Eastern Europe. These materials can withstand to very, very low temperatures, raining, and frost conditions. We have materials, let's say, for soft climate, like the Mediterranean area, and of course, materials for sub-Saharan conditions with very high humidity and also high temperatures. Another big advantage of the liquid applied membranes are the details on roof or generally everywhere on every substrate that has to be waterproofed. So to waterproof a detail is very, very difficult and takes time. It's time consuming. So working with a liquid applied material, the time reduced to the minimum. So the only thing we have to do is just to apply this liquid membrane around the detail. We have to waterproof, and that's all. As long as it's cool, the material will waterproof all the area. Green roofs, it can also be used there, and green roofs are commonly used on green buildings. Balconies and terraces, there is the possibility to apply the material pigmented and colored over the balcony, or we can leave the tiles and the balcony as it is and apply a transparent membrane over it, so we protect it and we don't have to rebuild or to take off all the tiles, which have a high cost, and many times it's not necessary. Water tanks and swimming pools can also be applied with these membranes, and the results are in any case very, very trustworthy, and up to now we had only good results. So then, as I mentioned at the beginning, sustainability is something that has to go together with the performance. We try to, or we have already created material that have less hazardous substances with no odor at all, let's say, or less emissions, and that helps, first of all, the people that work with that, the applications, and later on, the people that live in a building, so it enhances the well-being and also the health of all them involved in that. Furthermore, these solutions have to be, we have to think of also about the economic value of all this solution. And this is what we try to bring in balance all the time. And our objective for that is, of course, to create a transparent environment. So that means transparency for more sustainable products according to objective criteria. And the objective criteria is, on the one hand, the health and the environmental impact, and on the other hand, the economic values. This was so, and I believe this will remain like that also in the past. Thank you very much for your time and for your attention. We have a stand outside, and we will be happy to give you more information for everything you should need.
Thank you very much, Ilias.